Hi everyone. If you're here to understand latitude, longitude, and time zones, you're in the right place. We'll explore what they are and how they came to be. And for those joining in for a quick NCERT revision, welcome aboard. We'll be covering all chapters up to class 12 in the series. And today's chapter is called Locating Places on Earth. Let's first talk about directions. There are two types of directions. First is cardinal directions. These are the four main directions we commonly know: north, south, east, and west. Second is intermediate directions. These lie between the cardinal directions such as northeast, northwest, etc. As we know, our earth rotates on its axis from west to east, creating two fixed points. Let's suppose this is our earth and this is the axis it's rotating from. This is west and this is east. So our earth is rotating from west to east, creating two fixed points. One on the top is called north pole, and in the south it's called south pole. And equator, we call that imaginary line located midway between them, midway between north pole and south pole. This line we'll call equator. And you may have noticed temperature is generally hotter around equator. Why? Well, that's because the sun's rays fall vertically around this area throughout the year, concentrating more heat over a smaller area. And so we call this area torrid zone, the hottest part of the earth. Now, coming to latitude. What is latitude? It's simply, we can say it measures how far a place is north or south of the equator. So, how far a place is north or south of the equator. That is our latitude. And there is another important term, parallel of latitude. So we can say these lines running parallelly to the equator from west to east, making circles across the globe. These lines are called parallels of latitude. These lines. Latitude is measured in degrees ranging from 0 degree to 90 degree. The equator is 0 degree latitude, north pole is 90 degree, and the south pole is at 90 degree south. Now, coming to the longitude. To understand longitude, we first need to know about meridians. The lines running from the north pole to the south pole along the shortest possible distance are called meridians of longitude. Since there are many meridians, a total of 360, that can be drawn on the globe, a common reference point was needed. So in 1884, several nations decided that the meridian passing through Greenwich, a place in London, UK, would serve as the international standard. This line is known as the prime meridian or Greenwich meridian, and thus it is marked as 0 degree longitude. Now coming to the longitudes, these are the imaginary vertical lines that measure how far east or west a place is from prime meridian. So you remember, latitude were horizontal lines measuring how far north or south a place is, but longitude are imaginary vertical lines that measure how far east or west a place is from prime meridian. They are measured in degrees, either eastward or westward. Coming to the India's measure of longitude and latitude, this is important to remember. India lies between 8 degree and 37 degree north latitudes. So you can see this is 8 degree north and this is 37 degree north. These are the measurement of latitude of India. And for longitude, it lies between 68 degree east to 97 degree east. Time zones. As we discussed earlier, the earth rotates from west to east, completing one full rotation of 360 degree in 24 hours. One full turn is 360 degree and there are 24 hours, so in 1 hour it will rotate 360 divided by 24, that is 15 degrees per hour. That's how we can say 1 hour of local time is 15 degree eastward from prime meridian. Why eastward? Because earth is rotating from west to east. Example, if it is 12 pm in Greenwich, that is at 0 degree, it's 1 pm at 15 degree east. And using this concept, you can calculate the local time of any place. Although there was one problem and its solution. The problem was, since a country is usually large in areas, it would have so many local times and it would be confusing and inconvenient for them to manage. To solve this, most countries adopted a standard time based on a specific meridian that passed through them. For example, India follows IST, Indian Standard Time, which is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. And we have concluded latitude, longitude, and time zones. And we'll conclude this video by 3 interesting facts. First one is, sometimes lines dividing the time zones are not fully straight, as we can see here. Here, and here. Why? This is because they have to respect each other country's standard time and therefore follow international borders. Second interesting fact. It may seem as if every country has one standard time, but that's not true. Some countries are too large to have a single time zone. USA has 6 time zones, Russia has 11. Third fact. The opposite line of prime meridian at Greenwich at approximately 180 degree longitude is called the ideal, that is international date line, meaning crossing this line changes the calendar date. It's like a date switch. When you cross it from west to east, you go back one day, and when you cross it from east to west, you move forward one day. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.